Our first guest tonight is Emmy and Golden Globe nominated actress for her work on NBC's This Is Us, which returns with new shows in January. Her new holiday songs released as a 2-track single, How Could This Be Christmas, are available now. Please welcome back to the show our friend Mandy Moore. Hi, Mandy, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing wonderfully. This has been a weird time in between your visits to the show. The last time you were here was in September 2016, so you have waited for the entire Trump presidency until you came back.
No, I just completely wanted to boycott the show, I guess, during the Trump presidency.
You were like, I don't want to have any part of that.
Yeah.
It's lovely to see you again, and congratulations. You're about to have a baby. How far along are you?
I am 7 months.
Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
I'm getting towards the end here, but thank you very much.
And you're having a boy, which I can tell you from experience is a wonderful thing. And I know when you were here, we talked about how you watched YouTube videos of people going through labor to have triplets because of your show. Does it make it a little bit easier knowing that you're just going to have the one?
Is that not normal to watch YouTube videos of people having triplets?
Well, at least you had a reason. It would be weird if you had no reason to do it.
Yes, I have tried to actually forget the trauma that I endured watching those videos because some of them are just downright terrifying. So yes, I'm very grateful that I'm just having one child at a time.
You guys are back to filming again, and you've decided to sort of take head on the times we're living in, from things like the George Floyd protests to living under quarantine. Is it surreal to be doing a show that is also, art imitating life, I guess?
I mean, I kind of would expect nothing less from This Is Us. Like, we are a modern show, and so much of our show sort of takes place in modern times. And so it would feel weird, I think, to leave such pressing issues unaddressed. It's certainly weird because, I mean, we're living through COVID as everybody else is, and we're shooting in the midst of COVID, and we have all of these crazy COVID protocols, which I'm sure you do as well at your show. So it's certainly strange to have to initially, I think we're sort of past this point now, but as an actor, when you're in a scene and you're looking all around you and the entire crew is not only in masks, but also in face shields and other PPE, to just sort of let that go and to kind of be in the moment was definitely, a bit strange at first, but now it feels like, second nature.
I know early on, obviously, in the first season of the show, you had to wear a fake pregnancy belly. Are you a little upset now that they have not written your real one into the show?
I know. It's funny because the trajectory of our show is we sort of jump around in time all the time. So I am constantly, in fact, the very first episode I was in, we sort of took it back to going to the hospital to give birth to the triplets that day. So I was in the full heavy 8-month prosthetic triplet belly and boobs and the whole thing. And I'm like, geez Louise, could we not postpone this for just a few more months, and I could, help out a little bit myself with my own body. But of course, I think true to form, by the time I am waddling around and 9 months pregnant, we'll probably be shooting something where I'm supposed to be 25 and fresh faced and, getting married or something ridiculous. So
Right.
Just what I sort of come to expect from this job.
You decided to record a couple of holiday songs. How did this come about, the decision to want to do this?
So I put out a record called Silver Landings earlier this year, and we were literally 4 days away from going on the road, my first time touring in 13 years. And COVID hit, and obviously the world sort of had to shift. And so I've been home with my husband, obviously like most people, quarantining for the last 8 or 9 months. And a couple months ago, it just sort of struck me that in order to expend sort of this pent up creative energy, it might be fun to not only record a cover of a classic Christmas song, but then try our hand at writing one. And I think How Could This Be Christmas was the original that we wrote. And it sort of really reflects on this very specific and strange holiday that we're all going to be living through, and sort of rooted in the idea that really it's about togetherness and connection, and that's something that is gonna look a little different this year,
When you decided to cover, did you have a lot of choices in front of you, or was it obvious?
Sure. Considering that we were going to acknowledge what this holiday was specifically in 2020 with How Could This Be Christmas, we thought it'd be like a perfect bookend to the most wonderful time of the year, like classic Andy Williams. I felt like it sort of covered like the spectrum of emotions that we're all going to be feeling during the holidays.
I feel like everyone will slowly be rotating back and forth between those two of this is the most wonderful time of the year. And, oh my God, this is a hellscape. I don't care how many ornaments are on the tree. I mentioned in the tease, you probably weren't on yet, but we were in a film together. You remember the name of the film, right?
American Dreams, yeah.
Yeah, well, guess what? Hugh Grant was on the show, and he had no memory that he ever worked with me.
Oh, that is so deflating and disappointing. But I guarantee, by the way, he probably has no idea that he worked with me.
No, when I told him the name of it, he's like, oh, with Mandy Moore. She was wonderful.
No, really?
No, but still.
Yeah, see, exactly. I swear I crossed paths with him at an award show and I was like, hi. And he looked at me like I had 4 heads. So
Wow.
he's a lovely man, but he does a ton of movies. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I will never forget. I had the best time with you.
We had a great time.
I came out of that project going like, Seth Meyers is probably the funniest person I've ever met in my life.
Right.
And that continues
You were like, not the best actor. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this was one of his last movies. Mandy, I have great memories of that, and it is always just so lovely to see you. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. Good to see you.